Okay, Emrose signing in once again. Okay, I wanted to touch on certificate of trust today, but before I get started, I want to encourage everybody to hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I want to make sure that my videos start to kind of get out there a little more. Because I see a lot of people actually checking the videos out, but I don't see a whole lot of likes on there. I see some likes, but I see a lot of views. So I want to get my videos, circulating a whole lot more than they are. So that'll help me out a whole lot, y'all. If you're watching this video, take time to hit the like button before we get started, okay? All right, y'all. I want to thank y'all for that as well, and be sure to share the videos if anytime you get a chance to, okay? All right, now certificate of trust. This is what is also if you online talking to someone about a trust or whatever. It's also known as a declaration of trust. It's something that people may record into the county recorder's office. Basically, I'm gonna read this a little bit. It's pretty much telling you what it is. Say, what is a certificate of trust? A certificate of trust is a legal document that can be used to certify both the existence of the trust as well as to prove a trustee's legal authority to act on behalf of the trust. Of course, it's shorter than the actual trust document. Say it can be offered. It can offer the pertinent information without making every aspect of the trust public. Okay, then we have the trust certificate gives the trustee the ability to prove to prove anyone who needs it, to prove to them, let's say like the banks or any third party, say a judge, a clerk, or an attorney, anyone that you're trying to operate as trustee on behalf of them, the important information about the trust, like the date it was formed, the legal and formal name of the trust, who the trustees are, and other information institutions may require before allowing a trustee to act. So I thought I'd just kind of start off with the definition of a trust, certificate of trust, because it's pretty much the same thing as a declaration of trust. If you look up declaration of trust, you'll probably find certificate of trust in your Google search. So that's what I would always see when I would look it up. So I was trying to see if it was a difference between the two. So now you see that they're pretty much the same. Okay, now let's get with I'm going to start with just kind of check out California's, because California is like one of the hardest states to really deal with, for basically not from my own experience, but from people that I've talked to who live there. And it seems like California is like the hard ass of all the damn states is when it comes to dealing with different legal processes. They make every fucking thing hard. But anyway, this is what they have. Here's their code right here. It's concerning if you live in California, this is the code where it talks about the certificate of trust. And if you scroll down or whatever, well, I ain't gonna do all that. We're just gonna read what it says. A trustee may present a certification of trust to any person in lieu of providing a copy of the trust instrument. That's the actual trust itself, to establish the existence of the term of the trust. A certification of trust may be executed by the trustee voluntarily or at the request of the person with whom the trustee is dealing. Now, just say if you're trying to deal with the judge or an attorney or whatever, anybody, really anybody, and you're operating as a trustee, and they want to see your authority, like your authority, what do you have to prove that you actually have the authority to act on behalf of the trust. And if you have a recording of this here, say if you got a certificate of trust and you got it recorded in the county recorder's office and you got a certified copy of that recording, then, their seal is on it, that whoever that clerk is that gives you a copy of it, they certify with their stamp, their seal, and their signature. And it says that stamp literally says that, this is a certified copy of the original, a true and correct copy of the original. I'm just kind of paraphrasing. It's going to prove that you are, and then you show them some ID. Now it proves that you are the actual trustee for that trust, and y'all can move forward with, conducting business. Say the trust may, this pretty much, how people tell y'all don't use the statutes. The statutes, they only apply to legal fiction. They don't apply to the living man. And this is crushing. This is, again, crushing some of that bullshit you've been hearing online, because who else is going to read the damn statutes and apply it? Now, in those straw men can't read. They can't do shit. Okay, so you got to read this shit. Okay, the statutes tell you how to play the game. Look at B right here. Certificate of trust may confirm the following facts or certain or contain the following information. It's pretty much telling you exactly what the trust, the certificate of trust, is supposed to have. So when you typing one up, you make sure you have this information in there according to your state statutes, and then you won't have no problem getting things done. Okay, the existence of the trust and the date of the execution of the trust. Say the identity of the settler or settlers. Those are the grantors, or the ones who actually created the trust. And the currently acting trustee or trustees of the trust. That's easy to name. Whoever you named as your trustee, you make sure you name those in the certificate. The powers of the trustee. What are they able to do? What are they? What are the one creating the trust authorizing the trustees to do? What do they have the power to do? What are their restrictions? Okay, revocability or irrevocability of the trust, and the identity of any person holding any power to revoke the trust. That's self-explanatory. Basically, is it revocable or is it irrevocable? Which one is that? Which one are you going to make your trust? Is your trust, which one is it? So you just stating it in there. Okay, number 5, when there are multiple trustees, the signature authority of trustees, indicating rather all or less than all of the current acting trustees are required to sign in order to exercise various powers of a trustee. So like, say, if there's something, do you just need one trustee to act, or do you need all of them to sign off on a particular thing you're trying to get executed? That's what it's saying right there. So, if you just got one primary trustee and you got somebody else as like a backup trustee or whatever, like a secondary trustee to act in case the first trustee is not able to do whatever, then you state those things inside your certificate of trust. And you also need to make sure that's known in your trust as well. Not just the certificate of trust, but also the trust as well. So you got to make sure that your certificate of trust is saying the same thing that the same thing that your trust is saying. Okay, number 6, the trust identification number. That's your EIN number. Okay, you're gonna get an EIN number when you create a trust. Whether the social security number, a social security number or employee identification number. Most people who creating a trust not using no social. I know I'm not using my social to create no damn trust. Okay. But you get what I'm talking about. It's up to you however you create it. But EIN number is the way I'm going. Number 7, the manner in which title to trust assets should be taken. Okay, that's on you how you construct it. Number 8, the legal description of any interest in real property held in the trust. Okay. That's C right here. I guess number 8. All those numbers were for B. Now this is C right here. The certification shall contain a statement that the trust has not been revoked, modified, or amended in any manner which could cause the representation contained in the certification of trust to be incorrect, and shall contain a statement that it is being signed by all of the current acting trustees of the trust. The certification shall be in the form of an acknowledged declaration. See, same thing as a declaration of trust. Signed by all current acting trustees of the trust. The certification signed by the currently acting trustee may be recorded in the office of the county recorder in the county where all or a portion of the real property is located. See, this stuff is like plain English right here. So don't always think that that these statutes are using trickery words or whatever, legalese, and then you just don't, that like they're trying to trip you up. You just got to be willing to look this stuff up. Look this stuff up and you see for yourself it's really plain as day. Right here, D. So right here, well, first back to C is letting you know in this state. Now I've read in other states. I can't name them off the top because if I guess I'll be probably lying. But some states, they don't say anything about recording it in the county recorder's office. Some states, it don't say that. But California, as you can see, California does say to record it in the county recorder's office. Okay, where the property is located. Okay, certification of trust may, but is not required to include excerpts from the original trust document. See, it says not required, but it can. Some people do like the first and the last page, when they're doing stuff like that, just to kind of, but you don't have to. As you can see, excerpts say from the it say, but it's not required. Say they may, but it may not be, but it's not required to include excerpts from the original trust documents. Any amendments thereto, and any other documents evidencing or pertaining to the succession of the successor trustee. See, the certification of trust shall not be required to contain the expositive provisions of the trust, which set forth the distribution of the trust estate. So I'm just gonna hold on a second. I was gambling on whether or not I was gonna read the whole damn thing, because I just pretty much just gonna want to give y'all a clear understanding as to what the trust is talking about. I mean, the certificate of trust, when you go down here and you read everything it is telling you, it's really simple. It's pretty much laid out. Look in your state, type in your Google search, certificate of trust in Georgia, certificate of trust Alabama, certificate of trust Minnesota, wherever state you're at, you look that up and you should be able to find the code for your state. Then you type that, you click on that link or just type that code in and you should be able to find it. It's not hard to find. Here's Georgia, for instance. I did the same thing for Georgia. As you can see, Georgia says the same thing. As you can see, it says the same thing. It must provide for in the subsection A, they say shall contain some or all of the following information. It tells you everything. See right here, it says the address and identity of the current trustee. It didn't say that in California. So this is why another reason I don't teach one size fits all remedies no more, like I did in 2019 on my previous channel, because that one size fit all is not true. Well, that's why I don't teach Minnesota 220, Rule 220. I don't teach that anymore because some people still fighting using they tried that and it didn't work, and here today they still fighting, still on child support. So you can't use it. There's no one size fits all. It's good. It's always important for you to read your state statutes. What did the state you live in, what does it say about your type, what it is that you're trying to do? Look the stuff up in your state, because not all of them say the same thing. As you can see right here, number 3 right here, it says the address of each trustee. The other one in California didn't say that. This is Georgia. Okay. Relevant powers of the trustee, restrictions and limitations of those powers. It didn't say restrictions or limitations in California. So it just says the powers of the trustee. Okay. So there's some things that may be the same, some things are not. So it's good to just go through there and see what it is that your state says. But as you can see right here, let's see. It's not, okay, it says the same thing in California. But bottom line is, if you go through there and read your entire state, what it says about your certificate of trust, you're gonna need one of you're gonna need one of these if you're gonna create a trust. Okay, you definitely need to find your state statutes and create your a certificate of trust to go with your trust. The certificate, look in your state and see exactly what you need to do in your state statutes and type that shit up. It ain't that damn hard. You find your template or whatever, but you still need to type this shit. I think it's best to type your stuff up, because now you can actually you could put your actual information down there, and there's no certain way that you have to write it. There's no formal way to type up a trust or a certificate of trust. You just got to be straight to the point about what it is you're trying to do. Be clear with your intentions. Be clear. Now make sure y'all damn using correct punctuations and spellings. This is not Facebook. This is not Instagram. Y'all got to really type your shit correctly, man. People ain't gonna take you seriously if you trying to type shit and you don't know the difference between want and won't. You know, come on, y'all. You gotta use some proper English when y'all do this stuff, okay? But I just thought I'd just make this a video, pretty much just kind of give a clear idea about what a certificate of trust really is about, and pretty much like, you know, the fact that you have to have one when you get your trust. I mean, people tell you, you know, you mail it to yourself. Remember back in the day, people used to always talk about mailing something to yourself. And I'm like, hell, you sitting here with a bunch of stuff that you done mail to yourself, don't nobody know shit about. You can't move no court if you ain't got nothing recorded. You don't want to record them, but you want somebody to acknowledge your shit. You know, I'm like, nobody can't, it don't work like that. That's why a lot of us run around with like a chicken with our head cut off. You got to be willing to read your state statutes and find out exactly what they're telling you to do. And you'll realize the game is not as hard as we think it is. You know, it's more simple than we think. It could be hard in some cases depending on what you got going on. But when you study, and the more you study and the more you learn, the more simple things start to appear to you. And then your courage will actually increase too. You won't be as fearful as you may be in the beginning, because fear comes from the unknown. When you don't know what the fuck to do, that's what makes you fearful. That's what makes you scared and don't know what the hell they're going to do, what's going to happen, all this old different stuff. But when you follow the rules and you know exactly what they're doing, you learn the rules of the game, you won't be scared of you won't be scared of nothing that comes your way. Okay? So anyway, I don't want to be too long-winded on here. I'm going to get on up out of here. M. Roast, signing out.